then why don't you do a video and disprove what I said, right? So this person says, you liberal boomers are seriously sick in the head and delusional. This was left on a video in which somebody said that, somebody left a comment that, here, I'll show it to you. We don't need to buy wood from any other country, especially Canada. 8% is all they supply. So somebody left a comment about how we don't need to buy wood from anybody, and we probably don't. We have enough forest land, but I don't know how quickly we would deplete that forest land if we didn't import wood from other places. And then they went on to falsely say that we only get 8% of our wood from Canada. And I think in the video reply I did to them that I showed that it's somewhere closer to 40% of our wood that we get from Canada. But I showed where my numbers came from. I showed my numbers. The person who I was replying to failed to show anything in regards to how we don't need anybody. And then you come in with this telling me that I'm sick and delusional. Based on what? Facts? I mean, listen, I understand that facts have a liberal bias and you guys hate that. I understand that facts aren't something you guys like to deal in. You like to deal in alternative facts in the era of Trumpism. But based on what? What makes what I said make me sick in the head and delusional? That we import more than 8% of our wood from Canada? We do. And I'm not a boomer, homie. I'm Gen X. Proud Gen X, by the way. I was born May 13th, 1972, at Gottlieb Hospital in Melrose Park, Illinois, just outside the city of Chicago. I was the unwanted byproduct of a one-night stand between a 27-year-old drag racer and a 16-year-old high school girl. My parents were of the silent generation and the boomer generation, but I am solidly Gen X. I grew up a latchkey kid. Nobody was home when I got home from school. We'd ride our bikes for hours on end. God knows where we would end up, 3, 4, 5 towns over. You'd play in the woods for hours and hours and hours. You would tell your parents that you were spending the night at a friend's house when really you were face down, blackout drunk next to a keg in a cornfield somewhere. I didn't grow up in the digital age. I didn't have emails or pagers or cell phones or even a computer in the house when I was a kid. I remember when TV had 3 channels. And if the president was addressing the nation, you were fucked. There was nothing to watch. There were no reruns at the time. You couldn't record your favorite show. If you were watching your favorite show and you needed to go to the bathroom, you needed to wait until commercial break, and then you went really quick, because if you got back too late, you just missed it. So at the end of taking a squeege as you were returning to the living room to resume your program, you would usually do the old Starsky and Hutch hood of the car roll over the back of the fucking couch so that you could land back in your spot and be ready to watch your show again. I played with Tonka trucks. When I was 7 years old, my mother would write a note for me and hand me cash and send me 6 blocks up the street to the 7-Eleven. Actually, it was the White Hen Pantry back then, but the note would read, please, dear so-and-so, because your mother back then would know the person working at the convenience store. Please sell my son a gallon of milk and 2 packs of Eve cigarettes. That was my regular chore, going to get more milk and smokes for Mom. We were never buckled into a car seat. I remember my mother weeping when Elvis Presley died. We knew where all of our friends were, not because we could locate them on a GPS or because we were part of a group chat, but by roaming the neighborhood and seeing which lawn had all of the bikes piled up in it. Not boomer, Gen X. I look like a boomer because I've led a rough life, but Gen X, baby, all the fucking way.